What's up, guys? Welcome to the 2023 NAB convention here in Las Vegas. My name is John. I am a filmmaker based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And today we are going to go and check out all the vendors here and show you guys some unique and new products. But most importantly, I'm trying to find Potato Jet. Does anyone know where Potato Jet is? No? No one? I'm here at the Sony booth. I mean, someone's got to know where Potato Jet is, right? No? Oh, okay, he must be somewhere around. Do you know where Potato Jet is?
That's the question everybody's asking here. I will say I made like millisecond eye contact with him a couple hours ago.
Who is Potato Jet, actually?
I don't know. Potato Jet is.
I have no idea, man. I love all people ask me too. You're like the third person to ask.
Do you know where Potato Jet is? Still haven't found him. This is almost the last day. I'm not sure if we will find him. I'm here with the fellow YouTuber and full-time filmmaker, Sam Newton.
1 year ago, I made a decision that would change my life forever. The decision to walk away from my 9-to-5 desk job. Uncertain about what the future would hold, yet I knew this is what needed to happen. And sure enough, here I am, 1 year later, living the dream. I mean, traveling, women, money. I have it all. To show you how I got here, let me take you back. I had just finished watching Sam Colder's My Year video and thought to myself, damn, I'm so inspired. And that's when it hit me, clear as ever. And I knew I was meant to create. So I dropped out of college, bought a camera, got 2 months free of Skillshare, and taught myself how to make sick-ass content.
I've discovered Sam probably a few years ago just through your comedy filmmaking, and it's transferred into being professional, now working with big companies like Canon. So I have a question. Is this your first NAB experience?
This is absolutely my first NAB experience. As a matter of fact, I got in here about an hour ago and just kind of walked straight on the stage. So I'm excited to actually see everything that's going on.
This being your first NAB experience, you're speaking at one of the biggest vendors and biggest companies at NAB. How does that feel?
It's wild. I mean, you feel a little bit of imposter syndrome where, from the moment Canon reached out to me, I was like, oh my God, they're a big deal. And so to represent a company like Canon is absolutely an honor. I've shot with Canon for 5 years now, and it's just cool to be able to come up here and just basically tell my story to people and get paid to do that and represent a cool company. It's the dream.
That is awesome. And my last question is this. I guess for me is like, when you were coming to NAB, was there anything that you were specifically looking for in terms of like other companies out here you've been working with in the past or anything like that?
Meeting people in person, definitely. I think that's like a way to take your career to the next level. Is like, it's so easy to go on emails and back and forth on emails, but the moment you really meet somebody and you're like, you could put a face to a name and be like, oh, so just even the smallest conversations you can have. And so there's so many clients or sponsors that I have on YouTube that I'm excited to like go to the booth and be like, oh, you're the person from the email that I did the one project with. So the smallest things like that, it helps so much because you build that relationships with people and you feel good about it. And hopefully down the line it works out with more projects. So.
Yes! Thank you so much. Thank you. I got a bucket hat. Here at NAB, one of my favorite booths is the one, the only B&H. And the cool thing about this area is they have a bunch of different cinema cameras and DSLRs on display. So you can actually go and test and see cameras side by side. So like here we have the FX6, we have the Canon C70, we have the R5C, the upgraded R5 because a lot of overheating issues. We have the Lumix BG-H1, and then we have the FX3. And I think it's really cool because you can check out these cameras side by side and really see the different features that these cameras have. That's another cool thing about NAB is being able to see all of this in person is like much more of a different experience than just going online and checking it out. So having everything here all in one area is freaking awesome. We are here at the DJI booth at NAB. I'm here with Chris, who is the PR of DJI. Nice to see you.
No, I'm on the PR team. I'm the communications manager. John, let's talk about Inspire 3.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So the DJI Inspire 3 is on pre-order, and it comes out May 30th. So I want Chris here to go over the Inspire 3 and just talk more about it.
Yeah, so why we're so excited about Inspire 3 is because the previous version, Inspire 2, came out in 2016. So this is 7 years in the making. This, of course, is our cinematography drone, and it's got an 8K full frame sensor, and it's got a bunch of other cool things about it that I want to talk about. First thing is the transformational arms. Of course, that's something that we've always seen in the Inspire series, but what makes it unique in the Inspire 3 is it goes up into the position to be able to create 360 degrees field of view for that camera. So when it's in that up position, that camera can film anything all around. We also provided a new down position, so that way you can film upwards up to 80 degrees for a nice bottom up shot. That's the cool thing about that on the immediate. And of course, we can put the arm straight across for a stowaway position to go nice and flat into our included case. Now what makes this really a great solution for cinematography, not just aerial work, but just any above shots, is that we do have an onboard RTK unit. So real-time kinematics, it provides centimeter level precision for mapping, which we've used in our enterprise drone solutions. Now we're using it in cinematography. Why? It's so it can replace something like a dolly or a crane to be able to repeat an air track, to go back and forth at any speed you want and be able to repeat that exact path in the film set. So you can use this way up high, but really close next to your talent.
We are actually right now on the way to our Sony booth, which I'm very, very excited for. As you can tell, big Sony fan. We're gonna be meeting up with Maddie Hapoya, who is a YouTuber that also is an ambassador for Sony. Super excited to meet him. And one of the things I love about NAB, to me, is a lot of creators, a lot of filmmakers, a lot of directors, producers of the industry all come together into one beautiful place where we can all network and meet each other and check out new products by these new companies. And I think it's going to be an awesome time. I am at the Sony booth with Dan. He is the business development. We're talking about the new Air Peak from Sony. What separates you guys from other companies like DJI?
This particular drone will work with a combination of 150 camera bodies and lenses in the Sony line. It's the most expansive selection that you can put on a drone without modifying the drone in any way. They attach together, they slip into place, you balance them, and the gimbal takes over from there and does fine-tuning and balancing the camera and the lens. So that's the first thing. Nobody else offers a selection of cameras and lenses like that. Usually when you get a drone from someone else, some are attached and you're stuck with that. Some you can put different cameras on, but the idea behind buying Sony camera, Sony lens, and a Sony Air Peak is that they talk to each other, and all the functions and features from the camera are available to the pilot as he flies the drone with the drop-down menu on the controller.
What goes through your guys' mind when you guys are developing this drone?
So development of this started a few years ago in Tokyo, and there's a development team and an Airpeak business group in Tokyo who started the development of all of this. Once we started developing a group for Airpeak here in the United States, the guys in the factory started working with us to help us define what the best set of features and the best set of functions would be for our drone. So it was a really tight collaboration between our friends in the factory in Tokyo and business planning and product planning, and then the local group in San Diego at Sony US headquarters.
I'm here with Brandon Lobin. We are here with Brady Bessette. Is that how you pronounce your name? Bessette. I'm here with Josh Morgan. Anyone who hasn't come to NAB, what can they expect, and is this something worth coming to?
NAB is definitely worth coming to.
I think 100% is something worth coming to.
What you can expect is meeting great people like this, like literally.
So what can they expect? A lot of people, a lot of cool tech.
Mainly for the community side of things.
Honestly, it's worth coming here just for networking alone.
Just walking around, talking, collaborating.
The networking that you can do here, and you just meet people face to face, whether it's longtime friends that I've met, that I've talked to for years, never met.
Not even the tech, just networking and meeting new people and creating new connections. I think that's the best thing to do here.
And creating amazing relationships, because the film industry, this is what it's all about right here. It's like the cameras are cool, but coming here, creating relationships so you can go out and create things, that's what it's all about. And I think that's what NAB brings, because you look at all these YouTubers, you look at all these brands, they're here right now, and you get to network and you get to start creating relationships like that.
Or just seeing new brands and seeing new opportunities and getting creative that way. I think it's a huge thing just to like spark creativity and spark community.
It's because a lot of people out there are wondering, how do you pronounce the name on your shirt correctly?
So there's basically two ways that I know of. It's Juin and Zun. That's like two different ways.
Okay.
I say Juin. Juin. Juin.
So, I am back from NAB, and boy, my legs are sore. So if you ever do come to NAB, be prepared to walk a lot. So wear comfortable shoes if you do come. But I am back, and I can't even tell you how much fun I had. It was so much fun. In the video, you know, everyone said just meeting new people, going around, networking, and meeting reps from different companies that you've been using for quite some time, and just getting to know who they are, putting a face to the name. I got a ton of goodies. I got like a waist strap for gear. I got like an SD case from SanDisk, which is really freaking cool. And I got some, you know, some merch from some of the companies that I love. And overall, it was just really fun. I built a lot of friendships over the weekend. There was a lot of people that I knew through social media that I was finally able to meet in person. To answer the question of did I meet Potato Jet, sadly, I did not meet him. I did see him a few times walking around, but he looked very busy talking to marketing reps from Canon, from Sony, from other vendors that were there at NAB, and sadly, I did not meet him. But I did message him, and he told me that if you bring me a lychee martini next time I see him, he will appear. Him and Sony will appear. So next year, NAB, Potato Jet, I am gonna be meeting you. Be prepared. If you did make it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment down below if you're thinking of going to NAB, or if you did go to NAB, what was your favorite part about it? If you do stick around, I'm gonna be showing you guys some raw footage I was able to grab from the panels that Jacob Owens, who's the co-founder of Tropic Color and Prism FX, and Sam Newton, who's the ambassador of Canon, and he is very funny on YouTube, and I will be sharing their clips on how they were able to become very successful in their business. They're just dropping nuggets and tips, and oh man, their advice is amazing. So if you do stick around, I'll be sharing it right after this.
No longer answer the DMs for all of them. We finally hired some people to answer the DMs for a variety of them, but I try and be as interactive in the messaging as possible, like the direct messaging. I feel like that builds trust with people. Like when they ask me a question and I respond, I get responses like, dude, I never thought you would respond to me. But that builds trust, and people want to follow your journey and support your journey. And then if you come out with something new, if it is a product, like they want to support you because you've been supportive to them. And yeah, social media has been so instrumental in all of our company's growth. And the more you can grow one social media, and if you try and start like another brand, a company idea, like the cross promotion between those and using that audience to leverage to building the other audience, as you can see, like across the board, there's 182,000, 151, 195, 127, and then even on our studios, 20, 17, 8, 10, 12. So social media is, like I said, it goes along with sharing your work, but then being able to like, if you can build those audiences, cross promote to like further expand and help build your brands up, support each other. It's almost like a cosign, right? Like, so when Tropic posts about Prism, it's like, oh shit, like why is Tropic posting about this? Is it like, for people that don't know, for people that do know, it's like, you know, they understand what we're doing. But to the outward eye, if you're just a new fan of Tropic Color and we post something about this new, you know, project we just shot and we're using Prism Lens Effects filters, that's 127,000 people that could potentially see that. And it just helps, kind of a rising tide lifts all boats, you know? ABC, always be contenting. Dude, we're just always thinking about what social content and content can we be shooting. It's like I just showed you, it's so important to, you know, building your brand from whether it's the actual like stuff that you're shooting for the project, or if it's behind the scenes, or if it's photos, or even like just like phone videos for stories. But like from probably the last 6-7 years, you can see this photo here on Unsplash that I took. I've been using Lexar cards for everything, whether it's like travel stuff, travel photography, behind the scenes videos, this massive, the 2 terabyte CF Express card for like my recent projects with a Red camera. So from the dawn of, like the last 6-7 years, I've been using Lexar and love their products, and I appreciate them for having me out to kind of share this information with you guys. Prism Lens Effects. So I want to quickly touch on how we built this company. It's Tom, the co-founders, with me here today. I want you to actually just say something about this real quick. Do you want to say something? Yeah, he's got some good insight on this too. So.
Always wanted to know too.
Yeah, so how this company kind of came about is when Jake and I were coming up, we had probably shot, I mean, what would you say, close to 300 to 500 music videos, sometimes 2 or 3 in one day. And we were always like kind of looking for creative ways to make those videos look different. And we would be breaking wine glasses and champagne flutes. And I'd be like pulling this broken wine glass out of a Pelican case, and the client would be like, what is that? And I kind of like had the light bulb moment of like, you know what, maybe we just make one of our own kind of more legitimate versions. As you can see, it's like an orb that has a 1/4-20 screw, and we just made a prototype. And people came up like, oh, well, where can I get that? And it was like, oh, we just kind of made it for our own shoots. And that's kind of like was like the first tipping point. So here you can kind of say or see some of the early operations. And I guess circling back to what you were saying, like we were very much boots on the ground. We got this 500 square foot, maybe like 2 sizes of like this room. Like it was pretty small, and like literally in downtown LA. I just watched YouTube videos on how to get a drill press, and I literally, you can see it's a baking pan, some wood and some like heat lamps. But yeah, I mean, that was literally the first prototype, and that kind of has grown on to be probably our biggest company, I would say, by far. But it all just came from like really bootstrapping and figuring it out, and yeah, so.
And all that to say, like I've kind of talked to a couple people about this. It came from like a problem we experienced on set, right? And so like how we try and look at everything is like, is this an idea or a product that we would want or need? And if the answer is yes, then it's a viable product and other people would as well. And we needed it and we wanted it because we're on set like, yo, like we need a way like where we're not holding broken glass or holding glass and smudging it up. So it's like, we need it, we want it, let's make it. And it's like, if we can say yes to those 2 questions, other people are gonna want it and need it as well. And that's how I kind of look at everything, even from the studios to products that we're working on with Tropic or whatever it is we're doing. Being transparent, helping people, and just, yeah, all of that kind of stuff that I talked where you gotta pay your dues, you gotta grind, it's not easy. We were in that 300 square foot warehouse for a year, just hand drilling, grinding, pressing, gluing. In the winter, it was freezing cold. Like it was not easy. So you gotta pay your dues and grind early on if you want to build something. It's not going to be easy. And if it's hard and you quit, you're guaranteed to lose. Share your knowledge and ultimately share your work. So yeah, hopefully that gave you guys a little insight into like what it took for us to build our companies and our brands. And
some of my biggest tips for people who want to get into this industry is that you get paid to, you can do what you want to get paid for free. And I could not stand by that enough. I don't mean like you don't have to get paid in any industry. All I'm saying is once in a while, if you want to get into any industry, you're going to have to get your foot in the door somehow. And the way I did it was I would just reach out to so many people that did what I wanted to do and said, how can I help? What can I do? And I'd start building those connections. While on the side, I had my wedding filmmaking business that brought in all my income, but I completely identified as a travel filmmaker. I was like, this is what I am. This is who I do. I kind of kept the weddings a little bit pushed aside, and eventually it would just build on itself. I'm a big advocate of free passion projects lead to paid passion projects, meaning if you want to get paid for one thing, just go grab some friends, make something for your portfolio, a free passion project that can live on your website or live on your Instagram. And I guarantee you, if you put enough time and energy and effort into that, there will be people that will see it and want to pay you for something similar. And if that's not the case, you make another one, and then you make another one, and eventually you kind of see where this is going. It builds on itself, and you become the guy or the girl who's known exactly for that. Brady